You just spent $1 million on the perfect suburban home for your kids, but 3 days before you move in, a letter arrives in the mail. There is no return address. The typed message simply says, "My grandfather watched this house in the 1920s. My father watched it in the 1960s. It is now my time. Have you found what is in the walls yet?" Before we dive into the fallout of all this, if you're hooked on the story so far, hit that subscribe button. Alright, back to the action. In June 2014, Derek and Maria Broaddus bought 657 Boulevard in Westfield, New Jersey. It was supposed to be their forever home. Instead, it became a psychological prison. Over the next few weeks, a series of increasingly disturbing letters arrived from an entity calling themselves The Watcher. The writer knew exactly what renovations were happening, who the contractors were, and most terrifyingly, the names and nicknames of the three Broaddus children, referring to them as the young blood the house desired. The family never spent a single night in the house. The psychological terror paralyzed them. The Westfield police were brought in, but the letters were typed, untraceable, and mailed from a regional processing center, masking their exact origin. Suddenly, a quiet, wealthy neighborhood turned into a landscape of suspects. Was it the eccentric neighbor who sat in his lawn chair facing their property? Was it a bitter real estate rival? Every smile over a white picket fence felt like a potential threat. Desperate, the family hired former FBI profilers, private investigators, and forensic linguists to tear apart the letters. The Watcher's vocabulary suggested an older demographic, someone deeply resentful of the new wealth moving into their historic town. The only physical evidence the lab could extract was a partial DNA profile from saliva used to seal one of the envelopes. It belonged to a female, but when police cheek swabbed the neighbors, there were zero matches. The science hit a dead end. As the months dragged into years, the psychological thriller turned into a community nightmare. Frustrated by the negative press ruining the town's property values, some residents actually turned on the Broaddus family. Rumors spread that the family had buyer's remorse and faked the letters themselves to back out of the mortgage or secure a movie deal. Police thoroughly investigated and completely debunked this theory, but the emotional damage was done. The victims were being treated like the perpetrators. The unresolved shadow. 5 years of legal battles, financial drain, and sheer terror later, the Broaddus family finally sold 657 Boulevard at a massive $400,000 loss. They escaped the house, but the crime remains officially unsolved. The Watcher was never arrested. The identity of the writer remains a ghost. The new owners moved in, and the letters stopped, leaving the horrifying reality that the Watcher is still walking the streets of Westfield, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for their next obsession. Hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe. If you aren't subscribed to The Vault, the algorithm might not show you these high-stakes stories again.